Hello all my dear student friends. Welcome to this session. Now let us study something about interchangeability and selective assembly. To start with, we will study the concept of interchangeability. So the concept of interchangeability is quite important in those industries where mass production is done. So whenever mass production of a particular component is done, at the same time the mass production of the other part which is fitted in this part is also done. And as per the concept of interchangeability, any part should match its other component, its mating component, to the required fit, and that is the concept of interchangeability. So in olden days, production was limited to a small number of parts. The same worker used to produce the parts and assemble the mating parts to obtain necessary fit. So the same worker was in production as well as in assembly. So he used to produce the part and he was himself assembling the same part. But that was the case when the production quantity was less. But today, in the era of mass production, the parts are manufactured by different workers. Sometimes the plants in which these parts are manufactured and assembled may also be different. So in such conditions, the dimensions of the various mating parts must strictly lie within certain limits. It is necessary that the dimensions of these mating parts should lie strictly within the certain limits, so that any one part selected randomly will get assembled correctly with any other mating part, that too selected randomly. So we are selecting one part randomly and its mating part is also selected randomly, and still we should be sure that these two parts fit properly. According to the requirement of the fit, these two parts should fit in each other. So for this particular purpose, the dimensions of the various mating parts must strictly lie within certain limits. So they should not vary too much. The variation should be in the particular limit strictly. Then only we can achieve interchangeability. Then only the fitting of the two mating parts is possible properly. So such system is called as a interchangeable system. An interchangeable part can substitute any other part manufactured according to same drawing and same specifications. So if the parts are manufactured according to the same drawing and as per the same specifications, then the interchangeable parts can be substituted by any other part which is manufactured as a part of the mass production. So interchangeability is possible only when certain standards are strictly followed in various manufacturing units. For universal interchangeability, international standards should be followed. If you want international or universal interchangeability, then you have to follow the international standards. But when all the parts are to be assembled, all the parts which are to be assembled are manufactured in a single unit, then local standards may be followed. What are the advantages of interchangeability? First advantage is that interchangeability is suitable for mass production. So since interchangeability is achieved only if the parts are manufactured with small or close tolerances. So in order to achieve interchangeability, it is necessary that the parts must be manufactured with small or the close tolerances. Therefore, concept of interchangeability is practically used for mass production. So I have told you that interchangeability is suitable for mass production. In fact, for mass production, interchangeability is necessary. So the other advantage of interchangeability is that the productivity is increased, the production quantity, the production rate is increased. So in mass production, different workers manufacture similar type of products on various machines. So the worker is required to manufacture a similar type of product in large quantity whenever we are going for mass production, and whenever we are going for mass production, we are going for interchangeability. So therefore the number of products manufactured per day will increase because the worker is manufacturing a similar products because each worker is assigned same work throughout the day. Therefore number of products manufactured per day will increase, and therefore rate of production increases. So this is the second advantage of the interchangeability. Due to interchangeability, we can also achieve low production cost. We can also decrease the production cost due to interchangeability. So different components can be manufactured in different parts of the country depending upon the availability of raw material, skilled labor, etc. This reduces cost of production considerably. The maintenance cost is also reduced because easy replacement and repairs of worn out or defective parts is possible. Therefore maintenance cost is very much reduced due to interchangeability. Improved quality. The quality is improved due to interchangeability since similar type of work is assigned to a worker, so he can easily specialize himself in that work, and this results in improved quality of work. Reduction in time consumption, especially for the assembly work, the time consumption is reduced due to interchangeability. Due to small tolerances specified for manufacturing meeting members, for achieving interchangeability, assembly work of meeting members require small time. So when the parts are perfectly matching, their dimensions are perfect due to close tolerances, then they can match easily. So one component can fit in the other component very easily, and that will save the time of assembly. Now let us go to selective assembly. So selective assembly is a different concept, and already we have studied interchangeability. So there are some drawbacks of interchangeability, and by using selective assembly we are trying to overcome the drawbacks which are caused due to interchangeability. In order to achieve interchangeability, the mating parts are given very close tolerances. So if the tolerances are very close, this will also increase the cost, and at the same time it will also happen that the manufactured parts will be rejected because all the parts may not lie in the narrow tolerance zone. So some parts may be rejected, some parts may be required to be reworked also. So some rework and some rejection is going to increase due to interchangeability. And that is happening because the actual dimension will fall outside the permissible limit, because the permissible limits are very narrow, and therefore the chances of the actual dimension falling outside the permissible limits are more. in interchangeability. Whereas in selective assembly, manufactured parts are categorized into several groups according to their actual sizes. So, in selective assembly, we are dividing the range, a broad range, into number of smaller narrower ranges. So if the part is not lying in one particular group, it can lie in other group, but that part, that component will not be rejected, or that component will not be required to rework, and therefore the wastages will be reduced. Similarly, their mating parts manufactured are also categorized in same number of groups. So the parts which are manufactured, they are categorized in number of groups, and their mating parts are also categorized in the same number of groups. So this is done to ensure that part chosen randomly from any group can be assembled to mating part chosen randomly from the corresponding group. So what we are doing is that we are selecting the parts randomly, but from the corresponding groups only. So the mating parts are selected from the corresponding groups and then they are assembled. So if the mating parts are selected from the corresponding groups, they will assemble easily because their tolerance, their fit match more closely. Therefore, desired type of fit can be obtained after their assembly without further machining. So no further machining is required because these two components are matching each other because they are selected from the corresponding groups. In some cases, we may find difficulty to obtain desired type of fit. In that cases, little machining of the part can solve the difficulty in saving cost and time of assembly. So the advantages of selective assembly over interchangeability. In selective assembly, there is no need of the closed tolerances. We can widen the tolerance range, but we have to make the groups in that particular tolerance range. The tolerance range may be wide, but we can make narrower groups in that particular tolerance range. So in selective assembly, both mating parts can be manufactured with wider tolerances, and then they can be categorized or separated into number of groups according to their actual sizes. So in selective assembly, both the mating parts are manufactured with wider tolerances, but they are grouped, they are categorized into number of groups according to their actual sizes. So during assembly, a part selected from a group can be assembled with its mating part selected from the corresponding group. So we can select the mating part from the corresponding group and then the assembly can be done. Now the advantages of selective assembly over interchangeability we are studying. This first advantage already we have seen, that the closed tolerances are not required in case of selective assembly and they are required in case of interchangeability. Then there is decrease in loss of company due to reduced number of scraps and wastages. So the scraps are reduced, the wastages are reduced due to selective assembly, and therefore the wastage of the money of the company is reduced. So reduced cost of production without affecting the quality of the product. So the quality of the product is not affected, the fit is also not affected, because even though there may be a small change in the size, but similar change in the size is found in the mating component also. Corresponding change is present in the mating component because it is selected from the corresponding group. Therefore there is no compromise in the quality of the product, there is no compromise in the fit which is achieved, and There is no compromise in the functionality of the product. The disadvantages of selective assembly is that 100% inspection is compulsory. This is the only disadvantage, that we have to inspect all the components so that we can categorize them into different groups. Without inspection, without 100% inspection, how can we categorize these components into various groups? So the applications of selective assembly are in aircraft, automobile industries, ball bearings, roller bearings. So in all these industries, we are using the selective assembly for better quality, better accuracy and better fit.